still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to our returning listeners. Thank you for tuning in for the first time, and let me introduce myself. My name is Dan Small, and I'm an independent Medicare broker with SilverTone Med Plans, and we objectively assist current and future Medicare beneficiaries with their plan selection and enrollment, and there is no fee for our service. Our show is called Dan the Medicare Man, and each Saturday at this time, I will be discussing all the complexities of Medicare. Now, our motto is trust through education, and today's program is very important. The official Medicare Open Enrollment period just started yesterday, and it runs up until December 7th. And we're going to be discussing what you can do and, most important, what you cannot do during this period. So for starters, although it's referred to as the Medicare Open Enrollment period, it's not a true open enrollment period. Say what? Well, this is the most confusing part about a very confusing industry. I will say that annually, even my clients that we've had for over 5 years still don't quite understand what they can do during this time. So this period from October 15th to December 7th, its real name is annual election period or annual enrollment period. And it, again, leads to really what I would say the most problems that we find out there. So what can you do during this time? Well, you can enroll or change into a Medicare Advantage plan or a Part D prescription drug plan. Let me repeat that. And we'll use the term open enrollment, you can enroll into a Medicare Advantage plan or change your enrollment from a Medicare Advantage plan to another Medicare Advantage plan. You can enroll in a Part D prescription drug plan or change from your current Part D prescription drug plan to another prescription plan. But here's what you cannot do during this time. You do not have, not just you specifically, everyone. You do not have an annual open enrollment right to change your Medicare supplement plan. And we like to use the label Medigap instead of Medicare supplement because many people will use that Medicare supplement label on a Medicare Advantage plan. So are you confused already? So I think it would help to give you a little background. There are two separate and distinct ways for you to receive your Medicare benefits. And these separate ways create entirely different markets, not just products, but markets. And the one market, and by the way, in all cases, you need to have your original Medicare and still pay your Medicare Part B premiums. So everyone has to have that. And then you get to decide which way you want to use your Medicare or receive your Medicare benefits. Now, there is a monthly premium for the Part B. Many of you have heard this week about the 6% increase for your Social Security income. They have yet to announce what the Part B premiums or Part B deductible will be for 2022. I expect that to be coming out very soon within the next week or so. Currently, the Part B premium is $148.50. That's the standard premium. If you have higher incomes, you could be paying more than that. So that's the starting point, your original Medicare A and B. So here's how those two different markets work. The one market is where you get to use your original Medicare. And how you know if you're on that side of things is that when you use services, providers, lab, x-rays, all of your medical services, you would actually be showing your red, white, and blue Medicare card. And Medicare will process that claim typically at an 80% level. And hopefully you would have that Medigap plan. And those Medigap plans use the labels Plan F, Plan G, Plan N. And in some cases, but not as frequently, we'll see some Plan Ds and Plan Cs out there that are a little antiquated right now. In most cases, when you are using original Medicare with a Medigap plan, you will also have a separate Part D prescription plan. So if you're confused about what you actually have, if you have using that red, white, and blue card, handing that to your providers, have a medical plan that you also provide them, and a separate card for your retail pharmacy, then you are on the Medigap side. Now, the other, and there is premium. There are premiums for both your Part D prescription plans, unless you're receiving extra help, and also for those Medigap plans. And those Medigap plan premiums for a 65-year-old can come in to $100, but as you mature, they do increase, and all of them increase as you mature, all of them in the Middle Atlantic area. And so it wouldn't be uncommon for someone in their 80s where they're not paying $100 for their Medigap plan. That could be, close to the $200 range, if not slightly above. So that's the Medigap market. And again, it's providing you almost 100% medical coverage with the ability to go to any provider of your choosing in the country, and you would have a separate plan for your retail pharmacy. Now, the Medicare Advantage plans, and before I jump into that, remember, if you have a Medigap plan, there is no annual open enrollment to change those plans. Right? There is a once-in-your-lifetime open enrollment to get a Medigap plan guaranteed, where the insurance companies do not have the ability to do medical underwriting and say no to offer you those plans. Very, very important. Right? So once in your lifetime open enrollment for Medigap plans, but an annual open enrollment, which is during this time that just started, to join a Medicare Advantage plan or switch your Medicare Advantage plan or join or switch your Part D prescription plan. So how the Medicare Advantage plans work is that the government, being Medicare, pays the Medicare Advantage plans nationally. That amount is close to $12,000 a year. And because that amount has been increasing, the payments from Medicare to the Medicare Advantage plan providers, we've seen those Medicare Advantage plans drop from $100 4 or 5 years ago to now the advertised pricing that you see. And when I say advertising, I can't even turn on my TV today because I need a break from Medicare, and the commercials are just so numerous. The benchmark premium for Medicare Advantage plans, including your prescription drug plan and value-added services such as dental, vision, and hearing, are coming in at zero premium. But all Medicare Advantage plans will use defined networks of providers. They're either going to be HMOs or PPOs, and you really have to navigate those providers to get your services. And you're going to pay co-payments for most services with the exception of your wellness services like an annual physical. The co-payments can be manageable under a Medicare Advantage plan unless you're using tons of services, and they can therefore really add up. So we're going to take check with traffic and weather, and when we return, we'll go into a little bit more of the do's and don'ts.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 60?
We're back, and you're listening to Dan, the Medicare Man, discussing what you can and cannot do during this Medicare open enrollment period. Let me get my contact information out there. We're located in Milford, right on Route 1 and Thompsonville Road. Our phone number is 302-503-7013. And if you wanted to send me an email, my email address is dansmall@comcast.net. We are independent, objective Medicare brokers, and there is no fee for our service. So we were talking about or discussing the confusion that occurs during this time. And really, unless you had someone like ourselves to explain this to you, and good luck getting an explanation if you were going to call one of those TV ads or a call center. But it's perfectly reasonable for you to assume that because this is an open enrollment period, that no matter what your Medicare plan option is, that you have an annual right during this time to change. And that is false. And don't feel bad if you didn't understand this, because the vast majority, well over 75% that we talk to are, I get the response, I didn't know that. So remember, the Medigap plans are not part of this annual open enrollment. You can change a Medigap plan to another Medigap plan to improve your rates. And you may do that, of course, if you've been with the plan for 10 years or so. But you can do that any month of the year. However, medical underwriting applies, so it's really the issue of finding a company that will say yes to you with competitive rates. So that's the real underlying message. And keep in mind, if someone has a Medigap plan and they enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan during this time, and they go beyond a year, it may be almost impossible for them to ever get a Medigap plan again if they have any health issues. So we talked about the enrollment periods. With a Medicare Advantage plan, how you know if you have a Medicare Advantage plan? Well, it typically will have HMO or PPO printed on your card. And you'll know you have a Medicare Advantage plan if that is the only card that you use for your services. Because Medicare is paying those Advantage plans to administer all of the Medicare benefits, and in most cases, including the prescription drug, you leave that red, white, and blue card home in your dresser. You still have to pay your Part B premiums, but your access for all of your services will be done with that one card. So annually, if you're in a Medicare Advantage plan or if you're considering joining a Medicare Advantage plan, it's really important to make sure you're going to be in the right plan. The network of providers, how strong that network of providers is, that should be really one of the primary considerations. You can really do yourself a lot of harm by reviewing plans on your own through the back of the Medicare and You book that will only show you co-payments, premiums, etc., because that grid doesn't show you the depth or how broad the provider network may be. Now, there are 5 plans that are servicing Delaware, and there's some new entrants that are coming into the Maryland market for 2022. Now, Medicare prevents us from being able to discuss plan specifics over this format. Being on this radio program, I'm not in a position to be able to talk about ABC's benefit levels unless I spoke to you about all the benefit levels for all the plans. And of course, a half-hour time slot wouldn't be enough for that. We would probably need 4+ hours to go into all that detail. And again, Medicare rules prevent us to discuss specific details over the air. But when you call us, and let me get that number out again, 302-503 7013. We can easily provide you with all of the information that you're going to need to make sure that you're not in a stale plan. Now, how do you know if you're in a stale plan for a Medicare Advantage plan? Well, first off, if you're paying a plan premium, that means your plan has been around for a long time, and that needs to be upgraded. The zero premium plans are actually better in benefits with no premium, and you need to contact us to make sure you're getting that proper review. Now, I am again prohibited from saying this Medicare Advantage plan is the best, although I will say that out of the 5 Medicare Advantage plans, companies that are in the market, there are weak plans and there are strong plans. And my job is to make sure that you're with the best plan, with the strongest network. And again, that's where if you contacted us, we can provide that review for you. Now, our business is quite unusual. There's not many. In fact, it's really difficult for me to even give a comparison on how our business works being independent brokers, Medicare brokers. Number one, we are independent and objective. Our compensation, which is from the carriers, and Medicare sets that, is the same no matter what Medicare plan selection you choose. I also represent all of the standard. When I mean standard, there's a plan out there with a high deductible known as a Medicare savings account that I'm not really a believer in gambling on your health insurance as you mature. So all of the standard Medicare Advantage plan companies we represent. And those plans are going to be the same benefits and rates no matter what channel you use. So if you called one of those numerous TV ads, the person on the other end is only going to be able to discuss with you the same plans that we have on that one. And hopefully my 33 plus years experience helping people select their health plan options. I'm a certified employee benefit specialist with my master's in financial services, and my experience and background is, I can say universally, will not even compare to anyone that's poorly trained answering a call center. Also, if you contacted the insurance companies directly, they are only going to be able to discuss with you their plans. Well, we have their plans, plus can discuss with you all of the other plans out there. So again, that's what gives us that independence and objectivity. Now, again, it's very difficult to find a similar business where using a middleman like ourselves doesn't cost you more. Again, there's no fee for our service. And I know in some cases, depending on, a product you may be purchasing, I'm not talking about the health insurance plans for Medicare, where it can often make sense to cut out the middleman because you would get that product at a lower cost. And that does not apply in the Medicare health plan market. Cutting out the middleman means you're cutting out the advocate. Now, my clients that we already have in force have already been contacted to let them know how their plan stacks up for next year and whether a plan change may be, I don't want to say required, but considered on that one. So that's the value-added benefit that you receive from using me as your broker to help you with your Medicare plan selections. So again, it's Dan the Medicare Man, and we're located in Milford on Route 1. If you have a question, you can reach out at 302-503-7013 or dansmall@comcast.net. Now, if you're in the twilight years and you have a Medigap plan, now I know paying $170 or more in the plan premium makes you feel like you're being ripped off, especially when you see these TV ads talking $0 premium, dental, vision, etc. All right. But remember, two different ways to go to receive your Medicare benefits. One, that $170 premium that you're paying gives you almost 100% coverage with the ability, medical coverage, with the ability to go to any provider of your choosing in the country. The $0 premiums, right, can bring great value, but you do have to use the provider networks and pay co-payments for your services. So it really needs careful consideration before you join a Medicare Advantage plan if you're 85 years old, as recognizing that you may not ever be able to get back to original Medicare and a Medigap plan that you currently have. So it's really, really important that you understand the enrollment rights that you have or may be giving up. So let's give a recap. What can you do during this open enrollment period? You can join or change your Medicare Advantage plan selection, and with a new plans in the market for 2022, I would recommend anybody that has a Medicare Advantage plan to give us a call. We can quickly tell you if your plan merits review for a new plan or other plans that are out there. And again, remember, we're independent and objective, so we can show you all of it, and most important, explain any of the details that you're not going to get somewhere else. If you have a Medigap plan and do not want to consider enrolling in a Medicare Advantage plan, then the only thing you need to do at this time is to review your Part D prescription drug plans. Now, I cannot provide that service because half of the plans are direct to the consumer, and we think it's really important that you have all the options. So you can either go on Medicare.gov and do your review. You can email me and I can send you instructions, or you can go to your pharmacist and ask them to review the 2022 Part D prescription drug plans to make sure that you're in the right plan for next year. But this is not an annual open enrollment to switch or join or change your Medigap plan. You only receive a once-in-your-lifetime open enrollment for those plans, and we'll look forward to being back next week.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?